how do you feel about a solar initiative for the state of Florida? Obviously, there's only so much we can do in Tallahassee. I really think the importance of building a very strong federal bench, especially on the Democratic side in this state, is essential. And if we were to have somebody in the United States Senate who would be advocating for that in this state, we have a lot of protected land. There's a lot of safe ways of doing it. Heck, Disney, you've probably seen the Disney Mickey Mouse solar field. So I'd like to think that that is something that obviously would be great for the environment, reduce the carbon footprint, create a lot of jobs, and help out financially quite a bit as well.
Yeah, it's interesting that you bring up solar. I was driving today with my daughter, and we saw one of those solar fields. So we pulled over and looked at it. It was massive. I think it was about on maybe 4 or 5 acres of land. It was just solar panels galore. I think here in Florida, we do have what we call the green city, where the entire city is ran off of solar energy. I would like to see that across the entire country and across the state. But we have to figure out ways to get solar panels down, because they're kind of expensive right now. But as soon as we can get those down in terms of cost, I would definitely love to see the government, put investments towards that. I think back in 2008, I wrote a proposal to the White House to do a green initiative to revitalize the 8,000 governmental buildings inside of the United States that our federal government owns with green technologies. I think that proposal talked about how we could reduce energy costs by using, solar, radiant barrier technology, thermal safe panel systems, and just a number of different things. But we definitely have to move into the future, because the future is upon us. But we want to make sure that when it's here, it is safe. We want to make sure that we haven't blown up anything, and definitely we want to make sure that our people are equipped, educationally wise, to be able to work in these types of jobs. So when we talk about green energy solutions, that is the future. But we also have to talk about education, so that we can make sure that people are better educated, so that they don't get passed over for someone in some foreign country to handle these types of jobs. And so, it's a package deal. We have to have education with green energy solutions.
I definitely think that from an economic standpoint, this is something that I personally think would work extremely well. And for somebody who's running for statewide office, I think it would be very well received. As you know, especially in this state, we have a lot of, townhome communities, HOAs, the ability to sell mass quantities of solar panels into, let's say, 150 unit, communities. The amount of savings that could be done by doing it that way, rather than just single family homes. Not that, look, if you could, if you live in Boca Raton, for example, and you can afford it, that's wonderful. But for the majority of the state, that's not the case. And so if we were able to execute it in multifamily communities, I think that's one of the ways that we could really cut down the cost factor.
Co-ops.
Yeah.
We have that. We have solar co-ops.
And I definitely think that that would be a very effective way, going forward from an economic standpoint. And for somebody who's on the road for the entire state, I don't know if that's a talking point you've discussed as of yet, but I would think that it is one that could be very popular.
Yeah, the thing about me is that if it's a solution, then I will definitely adopt it as a platform issue, because I'm all about bringing the solutions to the problems. A lot of people talk about the problems without ever having any solutions, but I like to be about the solutions. Another thing that I want to talk about in terms of a green energy technology that I've had the privilege of getting to know is this technology that deals with seaweed. There's a certain type of seaweed that gives off a frequency. I used to be a globe changer, which is a group of people who were from around the world that were looking to bring these types of disruptive technologies to the world. And one of the things that we ran into is these companies that were trying, I'm not going to say the names, but these companies that were trying to buy up the technologies and shelve the technologies. But I've seen the technology be used to take a 22,000 square foot facility where the energy bill was about $20,000 a month, and then outfit this entire building with this technology. And the bill got dropped down to $22 a month because it was using frequency to light the building as opposed to electricity, which uses oil.
Yeah, Florida Power and Light will never allow. They are not going to allow for that to get out. Like, that is not.
Well, they're not giving Mr. Ellison any money, so we're going to,
no, nor would they.
Way around that.
There's a question here about, and I can almost imagine what your answer is, about how you feel about the investment in infrastructure and better roads and railroads. And I mean, anybody who's in Florida, I don't know if the person asking this is a Florida person, but we can't even get the train to connect from West Palm Beach to Orlando yet. That was promised to us like 2 years ago or whatever that was. So we're pretty pitiful. We need major, and by the way, our highways are so full of debris. You might as well be driving in a dirt road in a third world country.
Yeah, absolutely. What you speak of is the bill that Obama pushed for. He sent, I think it was something like $50 billion here to get that train together.
Right line.
But Rick Scott, who's a senator now for the state of Florida, he was the governor, and he blocked the money from coming. And so California ended up getting the money during the time when they were actually almost on the verge of filing for bankruptcy. And those funds helped them to do some infrastructural things, and it changed their economy around. I believe in building infrastructure because the last time we've had a major infrastructure project in America was back when Eisenhower was president with the interstate highway system. It put thousands of people to work. It brought us into the modern age of connectivity through the highway system, and we were able to become a even stronger superpower because of it. But when you think about our sewer systems, and I don't know if you ever noticed this, but sometimes in some major metropolitan cities, you might see like water on the side of the curb going down the road.
We have significant problems down here for our eastern part. We have like our sewage system is like more than 60 years old. And the people that live in eastern parts of Broward often have. You're talking raw sewage is just coming up from underneath the ground.
Yeah, so we're talking about over 900,000 tons of raw sewage on America's streets because our sewer systems are outdated.
Yeah.
Some of them are actually crumbling. Our bridges are outdated. I think here in Florida, we've had several bridges to collapse several times. Our people are driving down the roads and their cars are breaking because of the potholes. If we were to have a new American recovery plan, it would definitely need to include infrastructural developments across the country. And it could actually serve as a job creator because of the jobs that we have lost due to the rise of Amazon and because of COVID-19. This would be just what the country would need. It would fix a lot of the problems with our infrastructure, but it would put so many people back to work. So I'm definitely one that is a proponent of infrastructural development.
You're sounding like a progressive to me. I mean, I don't like to label people or anything, but so far, like we've run the gamut of pretty progressive sounding responses. Thanks for watching. If you want to support our mission to transform politics into service, please like this video, subscribe, follow us on social media, and consider joining our Patreon, where you'll get early access to our interviews as well as other exclusive content. Links are in the description. Peace out.